Okay, we're still here in Brookwood Cemetery, and I'm going to talk about a chap called Abdullah Quilliam, but I've got a dilemma because I don't know exactly where he is buried, but he was an outstanding individual. He was born in 1856, and his name was William Henry Quilliam, and he was from quite a wealthy family, and he studied law and he practiced as a solicitor in Liverpool, and he defended people in murder cases. But where he was particularly loved was there were a lot of flower girls in Liverpool, just the same as there were in London, and people took advantage of them. If we remember Eliza Doolittle, when she was being asked about herself, she said, I'm a good girl, because they had a reputation for being taken advantage of, and they would have illegitimate children. And Abdullah Quilliam would take their cases to court when they sued for paternity to get funds from the fathers of these children. And the flower girls really loved him. And there's a saying that when he walked by or when he was on his horse, they would throw flowers at his feet. So that gives you the measure of the man. At one point, I think it was in his late 20s, he became ill, and he went to the south of France for his health. And from there, he traveled over to Morocco. Now, he was actually brought up a strict Methodist, and he was really very heavy in the temperance movement against the use of alcohol. But when he went to Morocco, he was really touched by the simplicity of people's faith and the egalitarian ambience between all of the people. I mean, I know myself, my wife, may she rest in peace, she was from Morocco, and we would have guardians who would look after the cars and look after our apartments, and she would always make me go out and give them tea and things like this. And and then you would be in the mosque and you'd be next to these guys. And I remember when my wife, may she rest in peace, passed away, one of these guardians was crying for her. He was he loved her so much. But this is just brotherly and sisterly love. And Abdullah Quilliam was really taken by this. And in the fullness of time, he converted to Islam. But he was no shrinking violet. He didn't hide his light under a bushel. And when he came back, he thought this has got to be shared. And he raised some money from wealthy individuals abroad. The Emir of Afghanistan gave him a large sum of money, and he bought a number of terraced houses. We've got trains constantly going by, and this reminds me that all of these corpses, they were brought here by train from Waterloo. But that was not too loud, thank God. Anyway, he raised money, and he set up a mosque in Liverpool. And whereas down here in Woking, all of the people who became Muslim tended to be wealthy aristocrats. In Liverpool, it was people from all walks of life. And he understood Orthodox Islam and he practiced it, but he realized that it was a big leap for English people to make. So he taught people the basics of the faith, and hundreds of people converted. He wasn't very popular. The people who converted loved him, of course, but other people, they were really angry with him. And he was actually thrown out of his house, the house that he was rented, because his landlord objected to him becoming a Muslim. But he wanted to make the faith accessible to the English people. So he knew the English people the way they were. So he had pews in his mosque, and he had a hymn book, and he edited the hymn book, and everything that wasn't dedicated to the one true God, he took out, so people could sing as if they were in a Church of England church. And, things went well. But I think it was about 1909, he intended to go for about a 6-week vacation, but it turned into a number of years that he actually left. and there's a big question mark about what happened there. But it actually coincided with the time when I think it was Abdul Hakim II. He was the Sultan in Turkey, and Abdul Hakim had actually given him the title of Sheikh al-Islam for Britannia, for England. He was the Sheikh of the faith in England. And as he went away, there was a coup, and the Young Turks took over, and Abdullah wasn't seen for a number of years. And in fact, his family, they sold the mosque in Liverpool, and that large community just sort of disintegrated. But a lot of them actually came down here to Woking because they knew there was a Muslim society down here. A few years later, he came back, but under a different name. He was now Harun Mustafa Leon, or Henry Marcel Leon, but everybody knew who he was. And he continued with the faith. He met with the people that he'd been companions with for years until his demise. And he is laid here in good company. Actually, a few years ago in Liverpool was the European City of Culture, and that former mosque funds were raised, and in fact the bishop in Liverpool, he was involved in the fundraising campaign, and now the mosque has been rejuvenated. And I myself, I've never been there, but I do intend to go there and see, one of the roots of Islam in this country. Anyway, thank you for watching. May God have mercy on Abdullah's soul and on ours.